JD, I will say vacation is a lovely time. I mean, you get to travel, you get to not have to follow some things for a little bit of time. And then you come back and you remember, oh, right, the summer of football is still going on. Whatever the Champions League draw that was, it wasn't as confusing as I thought it would be. Because when those video explainers, I was like, I'm not following. I am staring at you blankly. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about, quite frankly, the tournament we almost all forgot about, but it's coming up in the next few days. The FIFA Women's U20 tournament is here, and we're going to talk about teams that we like. We'll preview some sides as we go, and we're here to talk about. You have JD from the IMAX at WeMax the crew. You have myself, Africans FC, because we wouldn't be Africans if we didn't cover Canadian and African content. So I'll just say this now. At some point I will say something that JD thinks makes me bad mind the Nigerians. I'm going to say it now. I'm not saying that, but Ghana's here, Canada's here. I'm having a great time. JD, welcome back. How are you doing? How are you feeling so far this fall? I hear your citizens are doing well in the Prem.
All right. Thanks, guys, for having me. Yes, I'm glad that I'm here, Africans. Yes, vacation was very good. I got some time for my kid. Obviously, the Jamaicans, my brothers and sisters don't believe that I am a strong individual. They said I'm a coward, because I never partake in much of the events, but it's okay. I'm loving this that's coming up, and I want to pay full attention to it. I'm going to try and do at least a video a day, like to keep the players coming through, because we saw a lot of quality players dominating ladies football and pretty much transforming ladies football now. The Salmas and oh my God, Caicedo plays in every tournament existed to man. We are going to be talking about her as well. Can she actually lead Colombia to the promised land just by overpowering things, based on the fact that she learned a lot about about ladies football at Real Madrid? I have a lot of things to talk about, a lot of questions to ask. Yeah, man.
But no, it's a fair point. Caicedo is an interesting one to start because it is in Colombia. It does start on Saturday. Colombia will be on the second set of games coming in. And so, guys, the question we have for you as you're watching, say, who do you like in this U20 tournament? Let us know that. We're going to try to go through a bit of a preview, talk about the teams, rosters, maybe some players that we are looking forward to see as we move through. So again, if you like this type of content, make sure you give us a like, comment, subscribe. If you're looking for daily content on this, I will definitely be dropping something multiple times in the week, but I know JD is going to do his best to get some weekly content there. So if you aren't following already that We Max It Football, make sure you're following that and you stay up to date on all of our perspectives when it comes to the Women's U20 World Cup as the summer of football continues, or the late summer, early fall. I wanted to say the fall of football, but then that makes it sound as if I think football is going to die or something, which is not the case, So we'll stick with the summer, the late summer of football. But here we have it. We have our groups, and for those of you who are not familiar, we'll go through all the groups, then we'll start to going by team by team. 24 teams here, so all the U20s are 24 teams. Well, as of now, until whatever they do with the annual tournaments in Qatar and Morocco. But Group A, you have Australia, Cameroon, Colombia, and Mexico. Colombia are the hosts. Group B, you have Brazil, Canada, Fiji, and France. Canada and France seem to play in every tournament, it seems, so why not do it again? Group C, Morocco, Paraguay, Spain, and the United States. And Group D, Germany, South Korea, Nigeria and Venezuela. Group E, Austria, Ghana, Japan, New Zealand. And then Group F, you have Argentina, Costa Rica, North Korea, and the Netherlands. So you have those 6 groups. Top 2 plus the best 4 third place finishers move on. And that becomes the groups because we go 16, 8, 4, 2 champion. So those are the groups. Those are the players. And we're going to start off in Group A that we have here. Group A is a very interesting group just from the standpoint that you have the host. You have a side that we are familiar with here in
Ooh,
CONCACAF, the
yes,
Mexicans.
Mexicans. Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes, yes. Well versed. Yeah.
yes. Cameroon making their return to this level. Always interesting to see. And as JD alluded to earlier, Linda Caicedo in another tournament representing Colombia because Colombia, they will stretch her out. They will find a new tournament. They will make like the next Olympics U23 and say, you're going to that too, Linda. You are the face of this football in this country and we love you. So when you're looking at Group A, JD, you have different styles of play. You have an African side, uh,
Mm-hmm.
American side,
Australia.
calf side, and then technically an Asian side. What are you excited to see? Are there any players that you're looking for? I know you'll probably start off with the Mexicans because Maribel Flores is on Twitter saying I'm happy to represent the country in which my parents and the country I've played well with. And so I'm like, you know what, Maribel?
I am
Well,
happy about
yours.
Maribel. Okay. I thought you were going to say Tatiana. Maribel is the one that doesn't pass the football because she believes that she can dribble the football, she can strike the football, she can do everything to the football by herself.
Yep.
So and it's your player. I think you like her a little bit more than Tatiana, but I am excited for a lot of the Mexicans, and we should look out for them, because majority of these players playing in U20s, but both on all on the USA team, Canada team, Mexico team. They are the players that we have watched through U15s come
Yep.
straight up. So I am excited to see the CONCACAF region. Obviously, you know that I am excited to see Nigeria as well because majority of those players I've really watched. Yes, so I think I'm going to really enjoy this tournament because a lot of the teams we actually know all of the players them on them. So that
No,
is
that's
very
true.
good to see that all of them actually came through because we had a conversation before, saying that we don't think kids from U50 matriculate into the main stages. Well,
Mm.
that's not the case because it's the same players from U15s on the same teams
Mhm.
right throughout.
No, that's true. The comment was more so on the men's side, youth tournaments, U20s.
That's
They
what
are
I'm
closer
learning
to
now.
what, yeah, right. On the women's side, the game is so new. I mean, it's not that new, but it's so new that basically a player at U15 could look amazing in for another 6 years. Also, in the women's game, you could argue that 30 is the new 25. So you see a player that age, you have to throw out all the metrics you have for men players and then look at women in their own category and say, okay, maybe there's a bit more longevity. The game isn't as physical, perhaps. Maybe the skill set allows you to age a little bit better. But that Mexican side is an interesting side. I was looking at them in terms of as a team that I think they could come out here. I'm just going to pull up their Wikipedia roster here, guys.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
just so you can take a look at that. Kota and goal, Fong there,
Kota
Mendoza.
already solid. Fang,
Yep.
Mitchell Fang is a very technical right back.
Yes.
All right, she
Mhm.
is very technical, guys. I am surprised that she never, but she's already playing pro, so it's not like she never matriculated to pro. But I thought that the Mexico national team would have really worked on her to change the new style because remember they're getting bombarded with physicality over the years. They saw Jamaica did it to them, Haiti did it to them. I thought that that's one of the younger players them that I thought that they would have flow through to try and help at least the wing plays because she bring Dinah. She's not the biggest frame, but her style
No.
of play would have aided that problem, you know.
Definitely. Good players to look at. You have again Espinoza, Lomeli, Maribel Flores, one of the few collegiate players here, along with Valerie Vargas, who's there. You have
Collins, Natalia Collins, she has the
yes,
size. Yeah.
definitely
Quality
a
player.
player to keep an eye on. Yes,
Range
Ali,
passing, range shooting. Oh my God. You're going to see some
mhm.
30 yard goals from her.
I do. She's gonna come. She'll be interesting to see kind of how they kind of play through. Mexico has done better at these youth tournaments than say the US and Canada at this level.
Facts.
So it'll be interesting to see have the hosts, and plus they have teams which maybe they are better suited for. I think the group, when we'll go back to the group in a minute, I think they are set up to kind of get through this group. Tatiana Flores coming back into the roster, um, replacing, as we see up here, Yvonne Gonzalez here, and then Haley Gordon, who's just here. She's okay. I'm not going to say like that. She's not just here. She was very much that super sub when it came to the CONCACAF championships. I wonder after her time if she's able to now be more impactful, if she gets more of that trust from the coach. Because I did like what I saw from her, and she does offer a bit more of that direct attacking option for Mexicans. So if they want, instead of just being able to play out everything, they had an option when you put her in where she's big enough, she's physical enough that she can make it through. So I'm curious to see how she looks in that sense. But again, looking at the group, right? They have a very Australia, I think, is a side that they'll match up well against.
Yes.
Colombia might be their toughest
Cameroon.
matchup.
I will always say tiki taka style system will work well against every African team. So even if they are not going to win the games, but I think they're going to beat Cameroon. I'm very sorry, but I think they're going to age best with against Cameroon and
Mhm,
majority of the physical African teams.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I think stylistically they might sit well with that. So I think that'll be. I think I do have Mexico moving out. I know we've not
Yes.
covered as much of the other sides as of yet, but I think Mexico, they are looking at this group and saying we could have had a worse
Mexico and
group.
Colombia.
I think
Hmm.
Mexico, Colombia, with maybe in Australia fighting for a third place game, a third
Yeah.
place spot would make sense. I'm not trying to dog on Cameroon immediately, but it just doesn't.
You're not. It's just the reality. We have known
Yeah.
all of these teams, and we tend to get these things close to correct. So
Mhm,
very sorry, people. But we have always seen the technical deficiencies
mhm,
showing up in majority of the physical African teams, and I am every time we see a African team with physicality and the technical sides, it
mhm.
always be a super team. So I'm hoping that we can see more of those teams in the future, because we saw the border and those girls coming through. They are technical and they're also physical as well. So but we need
Yes.
to see more people coming through at once, and believe me, that's when Africa, the physic the Nigerias, the Cameroon, that's when they are going to dominate. But until then, you're going to have Morocco and all of those teams passing balls to death and still doing slightly better than them, which should not be the case, because individually they go to their clubs, Africans, and they
Yep.
actually do so good. But that is when they have other people helping them out. But when they have to put together, it's not working. I have to be
Yeah.
honest. I have to be
No,
honest, because I've
that's fair.
watched
That's fair.
enough. I'm tired to not see Nigeria win a game, when it matters. And it's just because of those simple things. Yes, stop laughing, because I know you're laughing because you're glad to hear Nigeria not winning any game.
Oh no, no, no! I was laughing because Omar made a comment in the comments saying, "Did Canada win something lately?" I'm like, I was on vacation, people. I told you I was traveling. Leave me alone. But yes, before we get to Canada, there just a quick shout and looking at this Australia side. The interesting with this Australia side. It's a lot. You see this. It's almost a mix of older. Their older players have the experience. I mean, looking at a player like Naomi Chinama. If I said that wrong, I'm so sorry. But like 19 caps at the U20 level versus then you have someone like Ella Buchanan who has two. So it's a very veteran heavy side, but also a very youth side. A lot of 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds on the squad. So this Australia side, to make like the comparison, they feel to me that like New Zealand at the Olympics, where they have some veterans, but we're looking at them from the standpoint of maybe there's some young players that they're going to see to get there. I still think they have an opportunity to go through and really play well. But I think for now, again, I'm still leaning on that Colombia, Mexico at top two, and probably Australia fighting through Cameroon for those final third place spots. That's kind of how I look at that. You had the same thing, and we'll kind of go through that. Going to Group B. You have Brazil, Canada, Fiji, and France. The only way this group would feel any more Canadian is if you replace Fiji with Nigeria and then it'd be like, oh, Canada, we're playing the usual suspects again.
Mm-hmm.
Brazil,
Ooh, but
Fiji,
Africans,
France,
you say agreed. What you agreed on? You said that Mexico and Mexico
Colombia.
or Colombia coming first.
Yes.
Okay, and you don't have any sure who is coming first.
I
You're
I
gonna
want
give
to say
Colombia the nod.
home. Yeah, I think home field gets it done for them. I mean, they have the highest profile player in this group. You could argue
Yes.
in this whole tournament in terms of Caicedo playing for the U20. So I think that'll be good. And plus, this is another showcase for them at home, to show how far their program is coming. They had
Mm-hmm.
a good showing at the Olympics, just the women's side. So I think they need, not to say that they have pressure, but they're a side where I'd say if you don't meet the semifinals, I'm not saying it's disappointing, but I think they would love to reach a semifinals just to get the home support, get a full stadium behind them, and then
Mm-hmm.
push for that. I think the Colombians would love that.
All
But
right.
again, I think this Mexican side, I think they're probably the better side at this level in CONCACAF. So I see them and Colombia moving through, and then I think Australia can get past. I am gonna wait and see how I feel about Cameroon. Actually, let me just quickly go to the African pathway here because I have everything open here. It's fun. I came prepared for all this. Cameroon's path to the under 20 World Cup was interesting because Africa's qualifying. Most people had tournaments. Africa just did two legs all the way through
Yes.
till the end.
And some of them removed themselves early on and they had to skip groups. I had completed this entire tournament.
Mhm. No,
Yeah.
so Cameroon, they defeated Botswana 2-0 and then 4-1 to win that first round, that second round technically 6-1. They then defeated Kenya 6-2 on 3-0 and 3-2. And then they defeated Egypt. Probably I would say one of the harder pathways through. Egypt was a buzzsaw on their side. Sao Tome, I mean 18-0 on aggregate, then Congo 7-1 on aggregate. But then Egypt weren't able to get it done against Cameroon 4-2 overall and then 1-1. So 5-3 as the
Yes.
overall run.
You would say that they are the one of the toughest groups, right?
Yeah, their pathways was
Yeah.
definitely difficult. So they're a team that knows how to make it through. So I'm not too worried about them. I do think there is one name on the Cameroon standpoint that we want to look at here. That is Naomi Ninja Eto. If she's related to Eto, like good for you, but I have nothing to prove that. But with 6 goals and then plus Annie Felicia with 5 goals, so they have goal scorers, right? I'm not going to make the comparison and say that they're maybe like a Zambia type side where you have two
No,
strong
no,
players
no.
up
I
top,
don't. I don't see
but
those over the top.
they definitely have goal scorers. And yes, you can look at the competition, but they definitely have goal scorers. So I would not be, it wouldn't shock me if you saw Cameroon say in the third place spot, but I think that might be their ceiling in this group based off of the size that they play, and unless a Colombia or a
Agreed.
Mexico lays an egg. So I think
Which I don't
don't
think
sleep.
so. These players are playing.
Yeah.
I think, especially Mexico, I don't see the failure in Mexico. Their style translates on international levels so
Yes.
far, so easily because they pressure you into play football. You don't have any time on the ball. That's the difference with them and United States. That's why they have been so successful at youth level because it makes everyone else think. The biggest team at youth level is Spain, and what they do more than everyone else, it makes you think. You don't have any time on the ball. Japan, they don't let you think. They are in your face, tiki taka, running up and down. They have so much energy. Those teams are always the best teams at youth level because obviously, not saying that we are more. I'm not saying we're more cocoa at earlier age, but believe me, it makes you think harder, and it's very much difficult to deal with.
It's a
Yeah,
yeah, the thing with any type of tiki taka that everyone thinks, so it's passing. It's passing and movement, and Spain and Mexico do that the best in that group. So again, that's why I do favor them. And like you said, that's a game that translates well. Yes, even in bad conditions, you can still pass. I don't expect them to play in a monsoon, Women's Gold Cup, Canada, but I think they'll be fine enough to go through. Group B again: Brazil, Canada, Fiji, France.
all
This
right.
is a group where I think best case scenario 3 teams get out of this group.
Ooh, Canada teams look good. All of our players, Chuku, they are theirs. Both of them there are one.
Only one,
An-
only
Annabelle,
the one. Yeah, only Annabelle.
yeah.
Yeah, Isabel's not
Okay.
there. I'll also
Right.
start off by saying Ella McBride made the team. If you follow my Twitter, you understand why I made that statement. Ella McBride is on the team, guys. She made it, and we're happy. But no, I think this Canada side in this group, like, I think we look at this group and say Fiji's probably the weakest side in the group,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's which version of France are you getting? Which version of Brazil are you getting?
France,
It's
France
Fran-
team. I was reading an article. They are prepared for everyone. You know, they need
mm.
to take out back some pain on the Canadian team. So I'm
What did
very
we
sorry.
do? What did we do?
Defeated them in the Olympics. You know, stall their
You could have
progress.
had
You know?
Vanessa Gilles, France. You just didn't pick her. You could have had her. And it's not on me. I didn't choose the rosters. That's on you, France. Okay, les bleus, c'est vous. C'est pas moi, c'est toi. So, all that French aside, like, I think this, we'll start with Canada here because I'm not, this Canada side, the problem with Canada's overall outlook for me is our youth programs are basically tournament programs. It's there's a tournament coming up. Okay, let's get a few players together and let's kind of go from there. Is there talent there? Of course. I'm not going to deny the talent that's there, right? Between Chukwu, Olivia Smith,
Yeah,
Florian
Olivia Smith. Yeah,
Jules, Amanda Allen, those players, Geneva Hernandez Gray,
Claire
Jamie
Lowe.
Perot,
Everybody is
right?
there. Everyone is there. Yeah.
Everyone's there. It's pretty much the same. The only big name that's not there is Rosa Malouf, and that
Yeah,
is
Maluf is not there. She's injured or she never got selected.
she wasn't selected. And I mean, I will say my take on Malouf, which is Malouf might be a player that might fall down through the cracks because of just how the youth system is, and I'm fearful of that because Malouf, what's her dual nationality? Moroccan.
Moroccan. She has a Moroccan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I am not saying that I'm not fearing it, but I'm saying Morocco is the one federation that I could see coming up and saying
Accepts people at all age. Yes, every country. Yes, they are going around picking out people, to come and
and
represent them.
but yeah, but I mean I think she just scored a good goal in the collegiate level. She's still a player that I'll be watching and monitoring. It does ruin one of my predictions for this year that she'll score enough goals to be one of the top
So,
youth scorers ever. But
so you're just telling me that Chuku is just flat out all of a sudden within 2 years better than Maluf, or it's because of the injury Maluf had?
it's my theory is that it's the injury. I have nothing to
Okay.
base it off of, but that in whatever that kept her out of the U17s, it feels like she hasn't been. My theory, and just talking to some people nearer to where she trained, where her club is that she's finally healthy, and you can kind of see it in terms of how she's moving on the pitch. She's striking the ball she's moving a lot more confidence, at least for my eyes and the people I've spoken to. So for me, I think it may have been the injury. What was it? I don't know, but I feel like that really set her back. And that's just a reality in any sport, right? If you're not the best ability is availability, and for her, unfortunately, that injury came at the worst possible time. I still think the ceiling is high, the future is bright for her as a player, but I mean, 3 years ago, I was looking at this saying, okay, we have the twins, we have the other twins, we have Olivia Smith is still here,
Mm-hmm.
right? That would have been a lineup. That would have been Smith, Chukwu, Maloof with a someone.
Oh, yeah. Africans, I'm going. I like the Canadian squad. For some
Mhm.
reason, I think there will be a slight Canada qualifying in the top two spot. I'm very sorry. Brazil is a nice team. The French, tell you what, I'm going for the French to come first in this. The
Hmm.
French coming because I saw their article. They convinced me to say that they're coming to teach people things. People saying that they want to be like such and such, some of the biggest stars. So the French team, I'm going for first. Canada second.
Okay.
I know I shouldn't believe in the Canadians so much, Africans, but I have always believed in the Canadians a little bit more than and I've been proven right so far.
Wow.
So,
Well, the
so
first matchup is Canada France on Saturday. That's 4 o'clock Eastern
a
here.
draw
So
would be a
that's
good one. A draw
it
would be
would
a
be
good result.
getting a point out of it would be good. It seems like we always play them at that level. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how it is. Just to kind of give you a breakdown of the other squads. You have Brazil squad here with Rillery, G. Fernandez, Guta,
Mm-hmm.
Carla, all the
Very good
things.
players as well.
Yes, Rebecca, Guimaraes, Vandito, Mara, Priscilla, Amaral, Dudinia,
Priscilla, oh my God.
right? Ravinia, Marzia, Milena. If I'm saying this wrong, guys, I'm sorry. Look at all these names that are here, and like the thing you look at is yes, it's a I like this mix of ages, and then you
Mm-hmm.
see a few playing at Sporting. Meyer was at Sporting. Um, so was actually Olivia Smith last year. Olivia Smith was at Sporting last year. She just moved to Liverpool in the WSL. So we'll be interesting to see kind of what that goes through. But she had a very strong season, Olivia Smith there. So that's Brazil looking at. You saw Canada. You've seen the names that you've seen since U17, the Ella Ortiz, the Geneva Hernandez Grays, Faith Fenwicks, Zoe Marcassini in the back line, Claire Logan, Amanda Allen, you see her there. Olivia Smith, you see that? This is not a fluke. 18 games at the U20 level, 20 goals. I think a lot of people will be looking at her to continue to keep the goals going and seeing that go. And then the names Watson, Perot, McBride is again a good player. Always gonna bring her. Caleb Briggs, Henning, Sophia Cortez Brown, solid side. Looking forward to see what they're able to do. And then Fiji here, you have Wakali, Mara, Labal, you have Caroline Tale, you have Casanita, Preya Singh, Leba, Tabatuniz, like Sonny Alfred. A lot of these players are
Fiji,
domestic. Yeah.
yes. There
A
are a few
lot of these
Americans in it, right?
Yeah, a
Um,
few. Yeah, Spokane Shadows, Elena Valcolomoa, said that wrong. Sorry, and then Preya Singh, as Cal State Fullerton's Taylor Motti. So that could be an interesting side. So good side. They were able to qualify in the oceanic level. So them and New Zealand made it through. And then for France again, Marchand, Marion, Leah, Romain Lejeune, Hurt, Seguin, Hagu, Nele, Yetna, Musar, Fontaine, Sierra, like these players. And the thing you look at this, all these players, and this is always the conversation with the U20s, you see that they're all attached to a club, right? They're all
yes,
attached at a
and
club
please, if you go
at
and
that
check
level.
them, they are
Yep.
doing very well in their progression. So they are
Hmm.
expecting big things. Africans, I was reading their thing, and they have not seemed like they are here to lose. They are here to
It,
teach people lesson. You know.
it,
So,
look, they already taught it. Okay, so some of them might be thinking, okay, maybe we can't. I do like that matchup, France versus Canada. That's the first matchup actually on Saturday. It is the first matchup because they play and then Mexico plays Cameroon at the same time as well. So you kind of have that as a start off, and then the next game you have Brazil, Fiji, and then Colombia, Australia for Saturday. I do
mhm.
like that matchup both for France and for Canada because they have to kind of get the ball going. At the U17 level, we saw them kind of grow into the game. They left a few goals on the pitch and then eventually were able to move through a draw. But then at the U20 level, it just looked like you had professionals and then players who were playing at the collegiate level. So I'm curious to see how Canada's able to come through here. You said you're putting France and Canada
France
moving
first,
through.
Canada
Okay.
in second, and Brazil clinched on to the third. It's going to be a tight group.
Again, I think Fiji is the fourth, is the weakest of the four teams there. So I am fine with any order. What I will do is I think all three make it out of the group here. So I'll go with Brazil finishing up top.
First, okay. Ooh,
Yep.
ooh.
With France and Canada finishing at with like a 4-point tie, but then they're both able to go through because of goal differential. So I think it's like a Brazil goes with 7, or Brazil goes with 9, and then France and Canada go with like a 4-point each group, and then Fiji with 0 and goal difference held for all. That's kind of how I'm seeing it. But if anyone wants to disagree, feel free to jump in. I think it'll be very interesting. They'll be very, very.
JD's
It'll be
dog. We
very.
will do. We are just doing the ladies football today, and then
Mhm.
we will have to return to group the. Might have put the men's in it, but I can't get to
Mhm.
do any man. We have to just do the ladies for an hour, back, maybe Australia to do when we know that Jamaica squad close to come out and other squads, and we do that one,
Yep.
right, Africans?
Yeah, we'll do that
Because we're
when all the
yeah, yeah,
squads come through.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because you know, some of these squads, it's like gold. They have to hold on to them
Yes.
until I don't know what for what reason. You know, ladies football is so nice, so straightforward. These guys, you know, let me not say that because I have been decent from the whole day. Let me not say it. Let me
Indeed.
continue.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just to give you guys the history of the pathway for the sides. It was the U19 qualifiers for UEFA. Netherlands and Germany finished atop of their group, with Australia finishing in third. So they had a fifth playoff. And then you had France and Spain topping the group. France actually topped the group with 3 wins. So they defeated Spain at this level, which I'm just going to just pull that up here just to be sure how. 2-0 with Fontaine and Ribadera coming in with the goals there. And then France was just the dominant side, and Spain did Spain thing. So ultimately, you had France.
So Africans had France coming first, Brazil coming second, and Canada coming third. Okay, okay.
Yep, I
Go
had I
ahead.
had Brazil first, France second, and then Canada third.
All right.
But yeah, again, based off the tournament that they had, if everyone is loving Spain like people have been loving Spain, you can understand why France is walking in saying, "Yeah, we'll be fine. We should be able to do them." But France losing to Germany in additional time, with 2 goals going through there, so that well, 1 goal at the 115th, and then Spain penalties versus Germany. So maybe not the strongest of Spanish teams, but still a solid side. And that was Spain. That was France's journey to making it to this tournament. So excited to kind of see how this all breaks down. I'm very much curious to see how it goes from their Group C. I haven't said hi to anyone here. Let me say hi to everyone in the comments here. So let's say we saw Omar following here. Jason, good to see you. Again, we already talked about that. JD's doc, so no need. Maloof is better than before. I think she will be. She'll be an interesting one to watch. She's the one. If I had a list of, I hope we don't lose this dual national, it would be her, because I do think that the ceiling is very high for her. So we'll see. I think CONCACAF and the U20s can beat any team in the world. I'd say no. They have a lot to prove, especially the US. Canada has
Agreed.
been there for 3 games for the last U20s. So they enjoy the nice weather in India. Then they left. So I think it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do here. Jason's got Brazil first, France second, Canada third, all going through Fiji fourth. So similar to what we have. Who are the favorites for the competition? I think for me, my 3 favorites would be Colombia, just because of the home field. I do think France will go through and make a lot of noise. And then the third side, I'll let you know when we get to them. I'll say what I'll say
Right.
there.
And that's what I'm wondering. Why? Because I have that on my paper. I don't know if JD's dog is really in my house because I have all them in my paper. And they're asking questions. Oh, you know,
I would
JD.
laugh if I would laugh if it was just your daughter's like fake account the whole time, and we thought it
Yeah.
was someone else, and she
Yeah,
she had
that
a
would be
VPN in her
amazing.
room.
Damn, that's it. You know?
That would make me laugh a bit. Okay, but Group C, we have Morocco, Paraguay, Spain, and the United States. I think this group top heavy with Spain and the US. I'm curious to see what that game looks like. Morocco is a side that I think is looking good, and I think they are a team that can come through on the third place. Paraguay will play you tough and will make you have to earn those victories. So I think Paraguay, Morocco will probably be for third place. Spain, if they are the Spain that we think that they are, they'll do well. And then the US, as long as they have another Thompson sister, I have to rate them for a chance. And Giselle Thompson's there. Lissa Thompson came through already. I'm sure there's a 9th Thompson sister that's coming. So I'm looking to see how that kind of looks. How are you feeling with this Group C and how they are looking for this? So who do you like
I,
here?
I am surprised that is it Vicky Lopez is injured or something? Why she ain't here?
Um, I have. Did I not have? I thought I.
She's on it?
Oh, no, she's not on
Because
this list.
I'm not seeing her on the FIFA list. So that is something.
Mm,
Some unless she's injured or something, it has to be because she should be the star of this competition. I expected her to be here.
mm,
Everyone on the list is very much high profile, just the same. I don't know
mm.
where Spain. It's like Spain just make new players every single time because I know these players. That is true, but damn, they just jump through. I never even knew some of these girls are Spaniards because they're playing regular. And their team is
It
not bad at all. Their team is not bad
no,
at all.
they're definitely a side that I think they are in a side again. They're in a thing, and we've said this about them countless times. I think we're in Spain's era of football right now, and we'll see how long that lasts. I'm looking forward to that next Women's World Cup where we can start the conversations
Yeah.
of whoever wins that. I will say they are the greatest female team of all time based off the competition that they've placed.
So at this point, you're still giving it to United States.
Uh, I think it's Spain's world, but but the U.S. have a nice condo there, right? We're like I think
I
I,
think it should be more of Spain. You know why? You're getting an overall dominance to football. Because remember, you're
mm,
explaining who is a superpower. America was winning it at the highest level, but it was not translating into youths. But Spain winning at every single thing at at the same time. So would that not show you the more dominance of the system?
I think that would be fair. I think that's a fair point to bring. So I think for me, it'd be more of a conversation of can you maintain that? And that's my thing with Spain. Like at all levels, Spain now has to show the consistency, right? Even if they made the semis at the women's Olympics, that's still a semifinal at a tournament, right? They've making nothing but semis and finals. So I still want to give them that luxury in saying that at all levels their programs are doing well, and that's where I think I give them the edge over the US, whereas more recently they've been dominating the youth tournaments, and that's been translating a little bit better to the senior side, whereas the US have been making it to these youth tournaments. But other than the Olympics, the last tournament that they would have won would have been the World Cup in 2019.
And all of the CONCACAF foolishness, you know?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, but beat a team in the monsoon. Good for you guys. But I mean, they played in it too, so I'm not mad about it. But I think they are a side that it's very much. I mean, they are suffering on the men's side in Concacaf, where we say there's top teams, but then the middle class needs to get better for the region to get better. So they're kind of
Mhm.
just there, and they have to start to really test themselves, which is why I appreciate them getting those two games against England, against Spain, playing Germany twice, excuse me, and seeing how they would fare there. So I'm not necessarily hurt by it. I think right now, more recently, Spain's been more consistent. But again, we're judging an entire program here, so I think I'll give the edge to Spain. But like I
Yes,
said,
yes,
the U.S.
of course. Going
the U.S.
through.
have a very sizable condo in Spain's head because they haven't necessarily beat them yet, right? And that's the thing that I'm waiting to see. The only matchup they had was with a bunch of and I don't want to even say this disparagingly. They played them with a lot of the Madrid players when they played that friendly before the World Cup, and it was just well, they still beat them. So that is something that I'm interested in. Vicky's not there from Jason. That is true. Is that Puyol's daughter?
Jackson
I
Riley. Jackson Riley is still there for USA. St.
that
Noor
she
is
is.
also there. Giselle would have always been there. We expect that.
Yes.
Tegan is actually back in goal.
Mhm.
So that's good. All right, all right. Suarez, Taylor Suarez, very good runner
Mhm.
off the ball as well. Late runner in the box. That's good.
Indeed, indeed.
Either. Yeah, they have a good squad. They have a good squad. They have a good squad. Majority of the ones that we know. We still don't
Yep.
see what's my name again. From Nigeria.
Gamero.
Gamera is not there.
No, but I mean that's a reality of the depth of this program that you have an off period. In their
Yeah, but
this is nothing but yeah.
Gamera really have an off period? I don't think so. It's
I don't
like
think she's
I
been
don't.
bad.
Maybe some of them just don't turn up because I don't think Gamera's period was off. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think she's been bad, but I do think that I mean, look at the breakdown of Mocha's this program. This is a lot of Florida State players that you're seeing, a lot of ACC type players that are there. And then you have a few professionals, right? Emery Adams, Ali Setnor, you're seeing
To pick
Ali
players, I
Lemos.
think that is their biggest problem, Africans, to pick the right players and
Mm.
to choose them, because I just can't see a team where you pick no Gamera in.
I can understand that sentiment. I can
Oh,
understand that sentiment. But that it is,
all right.
how do you see this group playing out?
All right, so United States. Ooh, Spain going through. That's all I do know. Huh? So Spain and oh God. Are we giving United States? Ooh, I
I
like this
think it's
United States
Spain,
team, you know.
America. I think it's Spain,
I,
America. So I
I,
think it goes, yeah.
That's what I said. I like United States team. Riley need to prove herself because she kept in almost a failure. Remember, so she
Mhm.
cried her way out of a World Cup the last time, so she need to laugh her way to a championship this time. So I am expecting something from her. Yes, so Riley and USA. All right, so USA, Riley need to do something. So I'm expecting something from them.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. So I'm putting up Jason's predictions here because I think this he has USA going first, Spain second, Morocco third, Paraguay fourth.
USA
I would go.
first.
I
Okay.
would go Spain first.
This
America's.
is
I just realized this. No, Jason, I won't say America first. I'll say the United States topping the group. I will not say those words. No, but all joking aside, I think Spain gets this group done. So it's Spain, the U.S., and then Morocco, the Paraguay. I think Morocco is showing well. I think another good tournament for them will go through. So yeah, it's election time. I'm not jumping into that. I'm not jumping into that pool, Jason. But no, I think I'm going Spain first.
Paraguay. Paraguay ain't a easy team to play either. So
They
I am not
aren't. They've
surprised
always been.
how we jumped to Morocco instant. I don't think Morocco is better than Paraguay.
I am
I
higher
like
on
their style,
Paraguay. Yeah.
but I'm going to put Paraguay. Paraguy physicality mixed with power, I think will give Morocco all sorts of problem. The shooting range, Morocco. I'm
Mhm.
very sorry. I'm going to put Paraguay above Morocco. Um, it's very tight, very tight. Maybe a draw and goal difference. Decide the third place, but I'm Paraguay. I'm going for Paraguay. If I'm wrong, no problem. But I'm taking Paraguay
Yeah.
over Morocco. Morocco looked a little bit feeble the last time. Their players,
Hmm.
because like maybe their program just started and it was not in that clicking level. So, and I was
Hmm.
watching it at youth 17s, and most of those kids are the ones that I saw jumping up at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far they have actually jumped to say that they're going to compete with Spain and the United States, but I don't think so.
I- And that's a fair thought to have. I mean, Morocco's path on paper was the easiest, I'd say, but it didn't show per se, and that's my biased view of looking at it. If someone wants to tell me where I'm wrong, I'm all ears to hear it. But I mean, Morocco had Burkina Faso 5-1 on aggregate, Guinea 5-0 on aggregate, and then Ethiopia 2-1 on aggregate. And Ethiopia, I mean, yes, they made through Equatorial Guinea, they walked through Mali, and then they played Morocco tough. So I don't know if this. I give credit to Morocco because I've seen what they've done over the past, and maybe the right move is Paraguay for in third, and then Morocco in fourth. But I'm just going to. I'll give that African bias, the bias of bias there, and give it to Morocco for them finishing through. So them finishing third, and then moving from there. So that's where I'll see it, guys. Let us know how you feel on that with all the groups. Group D, I won't even talk. The South Korean, Germany, Venezuela, and Nigeria are in this group. JD,
Oh, okay, that's why you're acting like that, but you're not going to even talk. We are going through everything as African equally.
all the teams, all of the
Equally.
sides,
Yes.
equally.
Stop talking about you're not going to even talk.
Here's
Right?
what I will say. Here's what I'll say about Nigeria at this level. They are always ready. They are well coached at this level, and it is
Okay.
something that I give them credit for. I
Mhm.
I see. I think can they get a surprise against a Germany or maybe a South Korea? Because at the U17 level, that they beat Germany for
Youth
third.
17s and 20s, they performed
Yeah,
good in both of them.
they did. No,
I wonder
Nigeria,
why not.
Nigeria at the youth level, they are made. They are
Yes.
good. They're an investment. I
Give them
believe in the
money.
money.
Yes. Would you say this one would translate? I have a lot of questions there, but I still saw a few of them. Faith Amilana, she's there. Comfort is there as well. So a few of them, they're back. You have Ajikaye, that's my star player. She's back in
Yes.
as well. So you have a lot of them. Bello is back there as well. Sebastian Flores, Imoran, is also there. All of them here to prove a point. So I think if you look at it, them having experience playing at this level before, I think it just might spell that this team will be dangerous in Africans. What say you?
Mhm.
Are you saying that they
I
are not going to do certain things? Let
I
me know.
have more faith at the women's Nigerian side at the youth level than I do have at their national team level. I have more faith in them doing something here. If you told me, I would say I can see them finishing second in this group. I will go as far as saying they are finishing second in this group because at this level they have always been prepared. That is the thing I always give them credit for at this level. They are prepared. Also, shout out to Oshala's Academy giving us Janet over here. Shout out to that. But so I think they will be ready at this level. I think they're going to be ready to go. And I think they're finishing second in this group. I think so I think for me, Nigeria is finishing second in this group. And I think it's Germany taking that.
Ooh,
Then
all
I think
right. The
it's
Germans
Germany,
are
Nigeria.
always robust. Yeah, Germany
Yeah.
and Nigeria play some good games. Oh, all right. Oh, all right.
To me, I think it's Nigeria second, Germany first, um, South Korea third. I don't know what to do with Venezuela.
South Korea. Yeah, Venezuela. What they are in men's football. Um, in youth programs, yeah, I don't think it translates in ladies football as yet, but
Mhm.
maybe they will be coming. I think they have good energy as well. So they try to play football properly, like going through the phases and stuff. So if you don't turn up on your day, they can make life difficult. But I don't think
Mhm.
that Nigeria and Germany should make life that difficult. Uh, make Venezuela's team, let them life look so difficult. So I do believe that Nigeria should be good enough to get through based on the
Mhm.
experienced players that they do have.
Yep. And for context, Venezuela finished fifth in their group for qualifying. Colombia was already a host, so they didn't have to be there. So they got it with one win, presumably against Peru. I have nothing to prove that, but I'm gonna go prove it really quickly here. And a draw, a loss, more losses. Oh, yep, a Peruvian win. So I I think I feel better with my choice for based off of that. Venezuela finishing last, but I think Nigeria finishes second. I think they have the
Yes,
ability to do it,
I will
and I
say
think they'll do
Nigeria
it.
second. So
Mhm.
Germany first, right? So it's a
Yes,
battle of the Germans and the Nigerians. So a lot of them
again.
played each other before. So it's gonna be
Yep,
a familiar setup. I saw a lot of the same names. And
German
Nigeria
efficiency
second.
wants its revenge. That's what I hear.
Yes, they need it because Nigeria what won is the third place medal.
They did.
Instead of them, yes, over
Yes.
Germany. Oh my days.
Mhm.
All right, all right.
So you have
South
that.
Korea.
Yeah. Yep. So
Yes,
you have
Venezuela.
Zakai.
Yeah, coming last.
Yeah, I think Venezuela last for Germany. Zakai, Viet, Planter, good players to keep an eye on, not just because they have the goals and the experience they have. Miriam Hills, I said Dim. I said that wrong again. I should have just said that off the top. If I mispronounce your name, guys, je m'excuse. I'm sorry. So it's not the intention, but I think this German side has experience. They'd be fine in terms of how they're moving and progressing. So I'm looking forward to see what they have. But I have Germany first, Nigeria second, and then the South Koreans coming in third. And South Korea's roster, again, because this was a whole conversation with Canada in the last U20s, a lot of university players as well, but you see that they're getting players a little bit moving around. This looks like they just took their top 3 universities and said, we're taking the best 6 from your team and the best 6 from your team and the best 6 from your team, and then we're going to take the girl at Yale. And so I think this side, they will be familiar with themselves and they will probably play better as a unit. They will be a tough out, but I do think that, and I mean this respectfully, the chaos that Nigeria plays as, I think they'll be able to get it done.
Okay, all right.
So that's kind of how I see it. Jason is going to be saying Germany first, Nigeria second, South Korea third, Venezuela fourth. If you want to make my picks for me, Jason, I appreciate it. I really do. No, we will be fine. Yeah, he has. He certainly has. He certainly has. So that's what we have for Group D. Group E, straight bias coming in here. Ghana all the way. That's all you need to know. Ghana all the way. The Queens are going all the way. Okay.
Well, you need to provide the proof. You need to explain to us.
Reason 1, their name are Black Queens. That's my proof. Thank you. The video's done. I'm gone. No, all joking aside, I think they're having, and I say this very respectfully to the country of my heritage, they never seem to disappoint. When I expect them to do well, they aren't able to get past the line, and when I don't expect them to do something, they never disappoint me. They always do the opposite. I do like their qualifying route. They looked dominant in it. And some of their friendlies, again, they played Mexico in a friendly before. They only lost that 1-0. Now, granted, it's a friendly, so I'm not sure how big the tactics were. And I mean, the volley that they scored, I wouldn't be mad losing on that goal. But they've been in Colombia for weeks now. They've been acclimatizing themselves. They've been playing. They are a side that, if you look at their pathway in, we've looked at a lot of the African sides coming through. But Ghana, Bissau 6-0 on aggregate. Eswatini, not really a competition, 8-1 on aggregate. And then Senegal, 7-1 on aggregate. They did what they were supposed to do. You could argue in some of the games that they played, they probably left a few more goals on the pitch. But you're against this competition, you want them to do this and play well. And I'm encouraged by that. So in terms of players that I'd say to watch out for on the Ghanaian side, I mean, we'll scroll down to some of the top goal scorers, but just overall, I've liked what I've seen from Belin and Tracy Truman, Nyarko. Honestly, Nyarko more so than Tracy, left a few more goals on the pitch than they should have, but I like their combination and how they're able to move. They're a better passing team than I think they realize, and sometimes they get trapped into the kick and chase ball, which isn't always the most delightful, but it's still the job done. But I think they're a much better passing. Mercia Tobra, solid player as well, looking through. And then just to look at the roster as it's set up, to go through. There we go. My Ghanaians, show me life. Jenna Sapong, who's in the goal, playing at Auburn University, a good side. Yeah, they have a solid American contingent, which really does work for them. So Alexandra Emafate, who's playing well. You have Helen Alomerinu, who's playing at Texas State. And then Mafia Nyame, who honestly, you forget that even playing in the Moroccan league is still a solid league for where she's playing and getting good first team minutes. So I am very much excited, and the rest are all local players. I think they've shown well, and I was much more encouraged with their game against Mexico than anything, and that's giving me the energy to go that way. But they have a tough group. Austria, I don't think is a side that you walk over. Japan will pass through you. And New Zealand is the game. I think if they can guarantee a game against New Zealand, and then maybe be if they can get something out of that Austria game, to be honest, is where it starts for me. Ghana's first game is where are my Ghanaians? They're against Austria, of course, on Monday.
All right, so
So
Japan coming first. Let me not
yes, I have
write
Japan coming in
anything else.
first.
Yeah.
I'm going Japan, Austria, Ghana, but Ghana and Austria
Yes.
on like four on a tied
Yes.
with aggregate type of
Yes.
a thing.
Austria and Ghana so close you can't. Yeah, I agree with you. Because the last
Mhm,
time Ghana actually performed very well, better than what we had expected because we came to watch Nigeria
mhm.
do their thing, and Ghana did surprise us. And I'm expecting something similar. So
They
because I
just couldn't
saw their
score. They
team,
yeah.
I thought their team was pretty much out, and they rallied back to show me that they are very good in their build up in both of the youth tournaments as well, not just the U20, but also the U17. So I like their program because at one point I saw them like yeah, that spell when like Ghana football just went down in a hole, and I love the fact that they're trying to figure it out now. Obviously, they're not sending the same amount of level players overseas as yet, but after a period of time building, you will get them
Mhm.
out. Hmm.
No, that's true. And I think that's
Yes,
the
so
thing. I think Ghana is just a program that stalled in terms of their investment and how much they paid attention. And then in that time, you had teams pass them, right? Zambia passed them at the senior level. Morocco has passed them at the senior level. Though I do think if they played seniors, I think Ghana can take Morocco at the women's level. I think they can, but we will kind of see how that breaks through. And then New Zealand, I think I am disrespecting New Zealand a bit too much by just saying you will finish in fourth. This isn't your
no, no,
Olympics New Zealand style.
New Zealand will pull up something. It's not going to be easy, but I still believe that even though they play professional football and proper football the right way, I'm not really full filled with their style because their style
Hmm.
really not so far from the African styles, and the Africans
Mm,
are naturally more physical. So it
yeah,
kind of your style plays into the African teams, and that's why African teams have always done well against New Zealand. You know?
yep,
Yeah.
yep. And they give you New Zealand's pathway. I mean, in Oceanic, I mean, 19-0 versus Solomon Islands. That's a real score. The
Well,
Cook
they're scoring
Islands, yeah.
goals. Africans, you're not going to take away their goals from them, but
No,
at this
no, and that's the
level,
thing.
they're not going to
I
get the
won't.
same
It's
amount of goals. That's all I
yeah,
know.
and then that's the truth. So now New Zealand comes into this, and they'll have to play well. They beat Fiji, who were able to qualify after the Samoa, and then New Caledonia, which should have been New Caledonia, but that's besides the point. I think, yeah, New Zealand will be an interesting game. I think if you can get something from New Zealand, then it turns around to a conversation when it comes to just what these teams could do, and then kind of go from there. You can't move an island, so why would if you can move your island, by all means do it. But the islands aren't moving, so you are where you are. Enjoy barely
JD's dog,
scraping by
we
Haiti.
will be doing, Africans will find the next day so we can do the program.
Yep.
But remember, I had told my kid that I'm going to come and stay with her because she designed some new rules. So
Hmm.
I am limited in the nights.
No,
But
that's
after
true. That's
this, I'm
true.
going to be free again. After she go to
You'll
bed, I'm
be
free again. I'm just
yep.
more, that's what life is.
Yep. So Jason has Japan first, Austria second, Ghana third, New Zealand fourth. Um, I really, after all my praises for Ghana, it'll be a shame that I put them in last place in this group. It'll be just a damn shame. It'll be a damn shame. So I won't do it, JD. I won't do it. Ghana
But
to the world.
but I
Black
kind
Queens to the world.
I kind of gave you some leeway to say that they had performed the last time on the big stage, so
No,
maybe
they
they
have.
will actually performed their last performances. So let's see. JD, you sound tired. I have no idea what you said. Oh my God.
I,
I
I am
said
good.
we are going to do this one short of 1 hour, but we are going, Africans is going to have to find an extreme so we can talk about the guys. But we
Mhm.
wanted to do it a little bit out
Yes.
when we have all information in. Because a lot of teams them don't list
Indeed.
anything. So we can't be out here Macy Greenwood and bite our fingernails for 2 hours. Yes. That can't
Mason
be.
Greenwood finds Brownwood. Details at 11.
Yes,
What does it mean? I
yes.
don't know.
That
According to
that
the
does
Gleaner,
not.
it means that he's moving to St. Anne's Parish. That's what the Gleaner says. That's what I read there. But all
Yes,
joking
that's
aside,
not.
I
Yes,
think
that's not the right way.
this group will be interesting. But I think ultimately, like, I don't want to disrespect New Zealand but then they just run into the issue of they haven't played a competitive game in that sense. So we'll see how they look. But I think their first game, I had just had it here, match wise. New Zealand plays Japan first. So yeah, welcome to the big leagues, guys. They play Japan first, the team that will pass through them because they can. So that side will be interesting. And then, so you have Japan, Austria, um, Ghana, then New Zealand. I'm going, actually, I want to consult with myself and my emotions really quickly here. Austria won the fifth place playoff game and against Iceland. And so no, wait, no, I'm changing my mind. I'm gonna go with the ridiculousness. I'm going Japan 1, Black Princesses 2, New Zealand 3, Austria 4. That's what I said. That's what I say.
Ooh, Austria coming last in the group. All right, all right. Let me write that down. So Africans can't. I will remind him when the
Yeah,
tournament
remind
finishes.
me all you want.
On the group stage.
I'll clip it myself. I'll clip it myself, and if I'm wrong, I'll just show all the goals being scored against Ghana because that'll be what the thing
Black
will be.
Stars. Yeah. No, I can't. I never said he can't happen. Black Stars second. Yeah. New Zealand third. Oh my God, New Zealand third, and Austria last. Oh my God.
I'm
Oh,
already
all
telling
right,
you the
all right.
content I'll be making. If I'm right, it'll
Yeah.
just be my face here saying you remember, and if I'm wrong, it'll just be
Yep.
6, 7, 8, 9, and I'll just be like, you'll just see a tear well up in my left eye, like, oh, Ghana pride, eh?
Yes.
Akwaba, no, no, no.
Well, we have some good games to look at. Believe me, it's some good games to look at. You know,
Indeed, indeed.
I'm gonna look at
I look
them. The
forward to
time
it.
and the timings will be in the night, so it's not bad for me, because it's times maybe the 3 o'clock games, but I think the 3 o'clock games will always be on weekends. I need to check it on weekends, I
Yep,
think, but if not, I will still try to work ways around it, sleep and then get up and then do the stream and don't go to bed. Oh my God! But we have to
yep,
do what we have to do. It's not going
we
to
do.
pass.
Final group: Argentina, Costa Rica, North Korea, and then the Netherlands. The North Koreans are back. That's all we can really say because they kind
Yes.
of come and go as they please. So do what you must.
First place, Netherlands. I'm
Yes.
not sleeping on them now today. They're gonna be first place quite easily. Yes, maybe more than anyone else. Netherlands. Second place. Ooh,
Costa Rica.
I'm got Costa Rica. What? Really?
No, no hesitation. No
And
hesitation.
ooh, I would have said North Korea. I know, because of their styling. But if you want to go with
What
Costa Rica U20, no, no, I'm not. No,
I'm
I
I,
don't think. You think Costa Rica is
I'm
better than North Korea?
unfamiliar with their style. So that's gonna be a thing where I'm just gonna be wrong if I'm wrong. No need. No need for anything. But I think
I know that they are. I know that they can win over Argentina. That is for sure. Um.
yes.
All right. So I can understand if you go for Costa Rica. It's okay. I think this group will be all three of the other teams will be closer to each other than Netherlands. Netherlands will beat everyone.
Yeah. The funny thing is, just to put this in the context, North Korea won everything.
Hmm.
They won the Asian
They defeated
U19s.
Japan, Australia,
Yeah.
but for
Yep.
some reason you don't know their style. Their style is all energy style and it's staying compact
Yeah.
and playing similar to Japan, but less technical. I think they use wing transition a lot more. You know,
Hmm. I
so you're not gonna give them a chance because I wanted to pick them at second. to rally Netherlands, but they tried to talk me out of it.
Oh no, don't worry. I am just more high on
Netherlands.
what's my Costa Rican baller's name again? What's her name?
I'm gonna pick
Lost her.
Netherlands first. Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands first.
North Korea. I'm not going. I'm gonna stay with North. If Costa Rica teaches me something, I will. You know, they can take third. North Korea, but Korea gets their position. Man, come on, their technical ability is very good. Costa Rica, um, I would love for them to do something for the Concacaf, but it's very sad. You know, it won't happen. All
Sheikah
right.
Scott. Sheikah Scott.
Sheikah Scott, the player you're looking for?
Yeah, Costa Rican. I think she's on it, but she should be back and ready to go. But yeah, Sheikah Scott for Costa Rica. I think that's a player that opened my eyes at the CONCACAF Championships against Canada. So I'm rating that performance more than anything. Yes, I've just picked against two teams that basically won their tournaments, and I said I'm going with vibes, and that is my choice. But
So
no, I think this North Korean.
you saw some
I
of
think this
these
North
players
Korean
from you saw some of these
Costa
players
Rica.
from Alliance. Yeah,
Yeah,
check if they're playing in CONCACAF. Check how much of them played against Jamaica team that day. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
familiar with Sheikah Scott's
But
game.
that is
I'm
the
very
bigger
familiar.
level. That is a more
Yeah,
professional level. I know that playing against Fraser's whipping ain't no nothing to prove. I know that, but they are still bigger kids, you know. So if they can translate it from,
they put
um,
Sheikah right into she. They put Scott right into the senior team after this tournament. And then she had her injury. That was the thing. So the big thing is if she's available for this, which I haven't confirmed, which is really bad for me here on this, but I think she's a player that, in terms of her prolificness, to me, if I rate Olivia Smith as high as I do, that next
mm-hmm.
tier, Scott's there. Scott is there on that
Okay,
next tier.
all right,
That's
fair
how
enough.
highly I think of her. And so for me, she's a player that I'm looking forward to. Hopefully she's healthy enough to play. But
Very
she's
solid.
a player that I think that there's a whole generation of CONCACAF
Mm-hmm.
ballers that are coming who'd like to have a piece of some sort of a Ballon d'Or. And I mean, they're coming real quick for those young stars of today, the Olivia Smiths, the Trinity Rodmans, the Jaden Shaws, all 19 Thompson sisters, everyone who's all the Floreses in Mexico, whichever one you want to be. There's 17 of them. And then Canada has like, okay, we got a Maloof, we got a Smith, we got a couple Allens, we have a Hernandez Gray. We're ready to go. So I think it'll be very interesting. And then we haven't even talked about like the Haitians who didn't make it here. There's a lot of young ballers coming for CONCACAF, and it's going to make this region very fun. And the middle class will get better, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Jason, who do you have for this last group?
Oh, Sheikah Scott is actually on it. She's on it.
Yeah, Sheikah
I
Scott.
can't.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's on it. She's on it. But she's also from Alalanze as well. Yeah, she's playing. Right.
they
Let
moved
me
her. Yeah, because for qualifiers for Gold Cup W, they moved her right up to that level. Because they what's it called in the game where Tanner was playing the everything but the net challenge, where she had all the chances she was missing. Sheikah was feeding her on like half of them. So I'm like, you're out here, get stuff done.
she it looks like she never made the team, but she's from the club. So either she's injured or something, but definitely and she's not injured because
Mm-hmm.
it looks like she just left for this tournament because they played closer to the time. So maybe she left for this tournament. So that's why some of them aren't on this squad. But yeah, they did give Jamaica 5. Should have been around a solid 12, 13, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
they look too good. So I would not be surprised if they do challenge. But I don't think I will still go for North Korea to cause as much problem for second spot.
And I think that's more than fair. Again, I'm going with my what I've seen and followed for the last few years. versus what I haven't. Do I think Aubrey Graham will have a good World Cup? Aubrey has enough on his plate to worry about cups. So leave Aubrey, let Aubrey deal with his plates first before you talk about cups about him. Okay, that's what I would say. Other than that, so you have those four. JD, run back those groups that we have before we kind of run this down here and then kind of end this off here.
He's a Canadian Cup checker. Oh my God!
I
All
have
right,
no
JD's dog. JD's dog. Oh, the next video, I think you're gonna like this one. But this is just, I think this is just me and Africans' love for the sport. So
Yep.
I know that a lot of you guys are interested in it. But at the end of the day, we have to do what we have to do. Things that we believe in, and when the programs get big in the future, then you guys are going to rally back. But so massive respect for all the persons that actually came through. It shows who are really interested in football.
Indeed. But you have all our group predictions here, so that for the people
Yes.
who want to troll me because they've come for every wrong choice selection. They've come for me, and I respect them for it. But let's run through the groups that we had and how we had picked them here.
All right. So for me, Group A, I had all of the things on my paper. Group A, for me, I had a slight different feeling. You went for Colombia because you're saying homeland, but I went for
Yep.
Mexico. Yes. So Mexico first for me, Colombia, and Australia third. But you went for Colombia, Mexico second, and Australia. So you kind of said the similar thing to me, but you still gave the Colombians a little edge right there. Group
Okay, all
B,
right.
I gave Canada second spot, but you guys gave Brazil the second. And no, you guys gave Brazil the first, disrespecting the Canadian youths that says they're going to come and do big business. But it's okay. I believe them. So let's see.
Alrighty, all right. That's fine. That's fine. Well, I appreciate the love and support that you give us. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think with Canada, it's at this level. I need to see them and how they play, and it's the women's program overall in Canada is in a very interesting spot. So I think I'm hoping that these girls can go and just play their hearts out. I think there's enough talent for them to make it to the quarters. Anything beyond that, I think I think to me, my range for this that can decide is the quarterfinals or grouped. It's just the reality of the group that they're in. I think they can finish in third, no doubt, but I think they need to get another result, whether that's a draw against France or a draw against Brazil. But I think they'll get a win against Fiji, and then it's just a matter of can they now get another result that puts them in a position where they can move on from there. If they can, then it's just a question of matchups. But I like Canada's chances. I want to see how France and Brazil look first, and we'll see France first before we really push on one side or the other.
Okay. Talk about it. I need to work on some stuff here.
Perfect. Alrighty. So, guys, if you aren't sure who we picked, just go back and take a look at our predictions. A lovely watch. You'll have a good time with that, and we'll
The
go through
comment
that.
section. Yeah.
Yep. Watch the comment sections there as well. And we'll go from there. But guys, leave your comments in the section as well. Who do you have winning each group? Who are players that you're looking at, who you're looking forward to watch in this U20s? Again, we're going to be doing our best to keep you up to date with some content throughout the tournament as we go. Enjoy that time there. We have more things. Football hasn't stopped. Neither will we. So we'll be back at some point to continue on with the content that we have. But until then, guys, this has been Africans FC. That is JD from the We Max Football channel. And we are simply saying thank you for being a part of this. Until next time, bye-bye for now.